Hello everyone. I thought I would do a video on my way back home. Thanks for joining me. I thought I would make this video about someone that I know who also has a business. He has an automotive repair business. You know, he's working out of his house, just starting out, and he does accept credit cards through the credit card service. So he had a very large job. Someone brought a car, and he didn't tell me everything they did with the car. All I know is that they ran up a bill of maybe $3,200, $3,600, something like that, dollars. And they decided to pay with a credit card. And you guessed it, the credit card actually had declined, and his bank account has suffered as a result of that, because whenever someone who uses a credit card with you as a merchant, whenever they use the credit card and then they turn around and decline the transaction, or it turns out that the credit card was stolen, the rightful owner will decline the transaction. But who suffers in the meantime? Well, it's the merchant. So these days, merchants need to find good ways to accept credit cards. Now, accepting credit cards is not the problem. There's lots of different companies that will offer you the ability to accept credit cards. And then there's other alternative credit card solutions such as PayPal, Square, and other app-based credit card merchant servicing. I personally use PayPal and Square. I use them interchangeably for different things. Now, here's what you can do if you have experienced many circumstances of people defrauding you as a business, and maybe perhaps paying you with a credit card, and then it turns out that the credit card was stolen. So obviously, whatever type of business you have, you should have some sort of written agreement that states something to the effect of what recourse you may have upon collection. Because obviously, business owners such as myself, entrepreneurs, we do not work for free. And if you are a business owner out there that is doing a lot of work for free, I totally suggest that you discontinue that practice. But anyway, back to the credit cards. If you have been defrauded, and there seems to be a pattern of this defrauding, you have to establish some sort of system so that it does not continue. Here's a system that I've been using for many, many years. And if I have a high suspicion of someone that might be defrauding me, here's something that I ask for. Because more than likely, they're not going to give you the card in person. But my system will even work even if they do give you the card in person. The first thing that they're going to do is they're going to insist that they pay over the phone with the credit card. In other words, so that you don't actually see the card yourself, but they're just going to read the numbers over to you on the phone. That's perfectly fine, perfectly legitimate. But if they have an opportunity to see you face to face, but they prefer to give it to you over the phone, that is a red flag should go up right there. But if you're in a transactional type situation where you have to accept a credit card over the phone, do this. You ask them for the credit card number, ask them for the expiration date, the CVV code, the 3-digit code or 4-digit code, also their address or zip code that goes along with their card information. Then you hit them with this. Now, I'm going to tell you to ask them, they're not going to be expecting. But a true owner of the card should be able to answer this immediately. And if it's not really their card that they're trying to pay with, then they're going to stutter on the phone. They're not going to have a straight answer. They're going to try to research something real quick right at the moment. Here's the question. May I have the phone number that appears on the back of the card? All right. Now, when you ask that question of what is the phone number on the back of the credit card, you as the merchant, you have the right to ask that information. That is a security question. It is a challenge question. Now, here's what they're going to think to do. Now, if it's a legitimate transaction, the cardholder may ask, well, why do you need that? I said, oh, we just called to verify. Okay? And then they'll just read off the phone number. That phone number will cue us into several things. Number one, it'll cue us into who the actual financial institution that backs that card is. Okay? Because after they give us the phone number, we could just call the phone number and just call them up and just say, hey, I'm just verifying an account. I just want to make sure that this account number that I'm going to read off to you actually belongs to Joe Smith or Linda Harper or whatever. Okay? So you read off that number and you can verify over the phone. They'll tell you. Okay? They may not be able to volunteer the information, okay, because the credit card company has their security as well. But you can ask them, does this card number belong to John Smith or, you know, John Doe or whatever, right? If you're volunteering that information, they will say either yes or no. And if that is not the same name that they're presenting you as, then do not run that card and ask them for a different form of payment. Okay? When they ask the reason why, tell them, my system, because it is a system, my system is indicating that that is an invalid card, or that that card does not belong to a John Smith or whatever they say that their name is. Okay? So again, an honest person would be able to give you the phone number immediately. A dishonest person may try to catch on to what you're doing, and they may try to get up on a computer and try to find a phone number, okay, that is equivalent to that bank. Because usually if it is a stolen credit card, they don't actually have a picture of the card that they're reading from. They just have the numbers. And they may not even know what bank it's from. If they have no idea, if they just have the numbers on a piece of paper and they're just reading it off to you, not even they know what financial institution that card is actually connected to, nor do they care. All they care is about the money. So once you have that phone number, okay, you can call to verify it. Or if they're doing too much scrounging around in the background and it takes them longer than 30 seconds to find a phone number, okay, I would not run that card, because that card is going to be trouble. If they're spending, you know, now, depending on what kind of business you want or you're running, you may only want to run this level of security on the transaction only when it's above a certain dollar amount. Like in the case of my friend, he's an auto mechanic. Anything over $500, you want to make anything over $500 that they are insisting on paying with a credit card, especially over the phone. Okay, insist that they give you that phone number on the back of the card. Okay, it's going to jam them up. It's going to give you a reason not to use it, and it would be in your best interest to have some sort of form ahead of time for them to sign when they're dropping something off for service, or some sort of contract, or some sort of privacy policy or store policy that you have to have pre-written, hung up on the wall, on your website, someplace that says something to the effect that failure of payment means that we get to keep this, or we get to reverse transaction or collect, or something to that effect. This is a very, very serious thing, because criminals are always finding new and better ways to take advantage of businesses, small businesses, and people that have no eye or mind for security. Now, this suggestion can even work even if they are in person. Okay? If you are running a business that occasionally does high ticket items and people are paying with a credit card in person, you can even establish this same procedure, okay? If they're presenting you with the card, because sometimes people have become very, very good with moving and then re-embossing their name onto cards so that it looks like it's their name, and then when you ask for their ID matches. So one extra level of security, call the phone number on the back of the card, and then ask to speak to a rep and ask them to make sure that it does belong to Joe Smith or John Smith or whatever. Okay, I really, really hope that you guys pick up on this, because I do care about the other small businesses that are out there, and I don't want them to get ripped off, especially if I'm involved in any of their service. So I don't want them to get themselves all jammed up, and that way I don't get all jammed up too. All right, you guys, stay safe out there, and remember to wear your masks, and I'll see you